Your life is meant to be a vacation. You are not the engine. You are not the gatherer of the cooperative components. You are not the engine. Law of attraction does all the work for you. Your manifestations will be a natural byproduct of law of attraction. And so you want to get on the side of law of attraction where you're getting what you want. Because if you're getting what you don't want, it's because you're focused on the absence of what you want. It's so interesting to focus on the absence of what you want, because when you don't see something with your eye, your natural conclusion is it's not there. My desire is missing. This desire is something that I still need to have. It's not in my experience. It's outstanding. So universe, what's really good? Where is it? And so when you feel that, when you think that thought, when you offer that vibration, you're met with a negative emotion. That thought is accompanied or followed by an emotion that tells you where on the journey are you heading towards? Are you heading towards, is this thought negative or positive? What does it feel like? And because this thought doesn't feel good, which is what I want to hear here, while it is logical and a lot of people would agree with you, it's just not something that will make you feel good. It makes you feel fear, frustrated, angry even, or maybe flat out depressed, or it makes you feel despair because you really want this. And that's because your source energy on the other side of that negative emotion is literally saying, no, we have it. Because that's what your inner being does. Your inner being, and you made a promise when you came into this body, because you are your inner being. You are this source energy. You are source energy. And when you go up into those higher frequencies, when you let go of the cork, when you let go of resistance and you float back to the natural high resistance, the high frequency that you are, then you feel it. You feel the power of who you are. And so when you have lots of resistance or high resistance, then you feel a lot of negative emotion. And when you feel a lot of a negative emotion versus a little, that's because your inner being really believes in it. But if it's a desire that you don't care about, then your inner being is like, yeah, we believe in it, but there's not as much focus, because it's the desires that are really big that can come to you the fastest, because those desires have the biggest negative emotion, which means it has the biggest non-physical focus on it. And so you always want to think whatever you feel negative about is because your inner being is feeling the opposite. It's feeling the positive emotion. It's on the opposite side of the stick. So you literally have to reach for that, because you don't have vibrational, you only have vibrational proof. You do not have physical proof. You don't have a reason to think a different thought, and yet that is your job. You have to learn how to offer a vibration for the feeling one, and also the vibrational, and yes, the emotional, and the physical change it will net you. That's what deliberate creation is about. It's about deliberately offering a vibration versus offering the vibration that just comes as a result of your habit, your belief. And so we want to really make the sales job, which is that when you see something is absent, your inner being disagrees with you. And that's because, and this is where things get very interesting, because when you say something is missing because you don't see with your eye, the world would agree with you, but your inner being doesn't. That's because it is there. It's vibrational. It's there. But to your inner being, to your emotional guidance system, it's real, but you can't see it with your eyes. So you declare as, this is a flop, this didn't work, this is missing. And so as you hold on to that vibration, you offer that vibration that it's not here yet, you continue to get more of the absence. And then you say, well, you see that? It's absent. I told you. You're like, well, you're the one who focused on it into being. Whereas you could have reached for your inner being's point of view. You could reach for the presence that you feel. You could reach for the emotional understanding. You could reach for that emotional, you could be like, yeah, you know what? It's not here, but I feel it. I feel the vibrational version of it. I have the emotional version, because your desires are real. They're so real that when you think in opposition to your desire, when you try to contradict it, then you feel a negative emotion. And that negative emotion is the best thing in the world, because that negative emotion is your sign, your indicator that you are on the right path, because you're going away from negative emotion. Basically proves that your desire exists, that there is a path to begin with, because your desires are here. You just can't physically see them, but you have a sixth sense. You have these emotions that you can translate vibration. Your desires are premature right now, but there's still a real reality. So it's not accurate to say that my desire isn't here yet. My desire is something that I cannot physically see yet, but I can vibrationally feel. And so we want to get you for just a little time, not forever. We don't mean forever as in just completely get manifestations off the table. We're just saying for a little bit, because we know that when you start talking emotionally, when you start reaching for that emotional feeling of your desire and not the physical version, because the physical version is not here yet, the emotional version is, and that emotional version is what you have to focus on and what you have to but see, it's not even betting because it's knowledge. It's like you understand the laws of the universe. You know it. It's kind of like how you know 1 + 1 = 2 because there's logic behind it. And that's the same thing with this vibrational version. And so as you coach yourself and talk yourself up to the high flying frequency, up to that place of expectation where every desire just feels natural because you're like, well, I already feel, my richness. I already feel the fame. I already feel these things because I feel the vibrational components of it. I feel the essence of it. And so I don't doubt it anymore. I just haven't seen it, but I feel it. And you see how that's a different trend than saying I don't see it yet. I don't see it yet. Because when you're saying you don't see it yet, you're practicing a vibration of continually not being able to see it. Whereas when you talk about the emotional, yes, the value of your emotional guidance system, when you talk about the value of your emotions and you talk about the emotional presence that you can feel with your solar plexus, then now you're entering a different version or a new criteria for what reality is, because reality isn't just based on what you're seeing, it's also about what you're feeling. But the reality that you're feeling is a faster reality, it's more new, whereas the reality that you're seeing with your eye is old. And so that's what it means to be a vibrational creature in this physical time and space. And yet that's what you like being able to, you like the idea, you really were sold on the idea of being able to measure things, being able to have a physical distance to undergo. Because if you just wanted something and got it instantly, then you would, the thing is, it would be fun, but it wouldn't be that much fun, because now you would be watching this video learning how to demanifest, because you just have too many homes. You have too many homes, and you have more homes than you want, you have more money than you want, because now it's not fun to buy anything because you can just buy everything. So you really wanted the physical journey, and we're trying to sell you on the becoming, because your desires are going to be becoming for all of eternity. Your desires, you have to enjoy your desires in the phase that they are, because as long as they're not physical, they're in the state of becoming right now. And that's what you want to remember, is that it's still in the state of becoming. It's still in the state of becoming. You want to soothe the gap. You want to soothe the fact that you can't see it, but you can feel it, and that you so soon will see it, because we know that if you continue on this trend, and what trending really means is that it's basically like your belief. It's a thought that you continue to think, the most prominent or most dominant thought, the thought that's the most easiest to access on that subject. When it's one of expectation and knowledge about the laws of the universe, then you have to get what you want. You see, you can't talk about the emotional version of your desire. You can't talk about the clarity that the money will give you. You can't talk about the fact that, you know what, I don't have the money right now, but I have the feeling of the ease of the money. I have the vibrational currency. I have the flow of it, the ease of it, the joy of it, the fun of it. That conversation can't be, you can't be talking about that in that way, your desires in that way, without getting it, because it's the law of attraction. It's the back door, because everyone is looking for the thought that will produce the emotion. They're looking for the condition that will produce the emotion. And we say it's the opposite. It's the opposite. You have to produce emotion first, and the thing, you have to be secure in emotion, because of what we said. Because when you say something is not here, it's not accurate. It's really not accurate. It's 100% not accurate, because you can feel it. And we're saying, well, if you can feel it, then that's as good as being able to see it. Isn't that so interesting? When you the difference between you're seeing something and you're feeling something is that when you feel something, that desire is that momentum, that frequency is still young, it's still not mature. But by the time you can see it, that means that frequency that you once felt matured, because due to momentum, the natural laws of the universe, it grew. It's like the seed that grew into the plant, and it will grow. But you see, as long as you're on that journey, you have to enjoy the becoming of it, because you're going to be on that journey for a minute, because 99% of what you want is vibration completed before you see any physical evidence. So that means that you're not going to be seeing physical evidence until you get all the way to the finish line. And so during that whole journey is what we're calling the becoming of your vibration, the becoming of your desire, the becoming from the thought to the thing, because thoughts are turning to things all the time. That's what we say, like, your thoughts are turning to things, and every moment of every day, because every moment is a manifestation. But what are the thoughts turning into? Are the things not what you like? Because when the things are not what you like, you know that you have some, not really cleaning up to do, but now you have the joy of creation. The artists who have come before you, the artists who are still interested in the artists of today, and they're working through them, they know that it really was never about the acclaim, and it was never about the money. It truly was about the feeling of being connected to source and that power. That's where all the big masters and all the big artists, that's where they got their notoriety from. Because yes, their paintings were amazing, yes, their books were amazing, but this is truly a vibrational world. This is truly a meeting of frequencies. So yes, the book could be amazing, but how the author felt while they wrote that book, how that actress felt while they essayed that role, that's what everyone was feeling into. That's what everyone was buying into. That's what everyone was talking about when they were criticizing them. They're saying, oh, they weren't really confident. Oh, they were really confident, so their role was so over the top, they carried the entire movie. This book was amazing. Because it's not about the content, it's about how you felt while you created it. And so while you're connected to source, then you're powerful. You see, it's interesting because when you start to really habitually get into the flow of source, and you know for a fact that you know what source feels like, and you know how to get there. Because it's really interesting, because when you go general, when you understand going general versus going specific, then you really understand how to control your energy. Because that's the whole point of going general. Going general really means that when the energy is like going really fast and you don't like it, you want to slow it down, because now your car is going really fast and there's trees everywhere, and now you're gonna crash, and it hurts. That's the thing. That's the thing about going specific faster than you're able to sustain. It hurts you. That's why having desires that are big, that you really want but that you really don't believe in, are really torturous, because you're going specific too fast. But when you go general, and the most general thing that you could really do is talk about the emotion of it. When you step away from the specifics of your desire or the situation or the conditions, then you can always find your alignment. And that's what you have to do. That's what, as a creator, that's what your job is. Your job is to always step back and find your connection, and then head back into the specifics, because that's where everything is fun. The specifics are fun. They just are, you could be left in a state of boredom because you become guarded. You're like, I'm not going to think any thoughts, because law of attraction is listening to me, and I want to get it right, so I'm not going to think anything. I'm going to just sit here and have an empty mind. But you see, like, that's not what you came here for. You came here because you wanted to drive the car really fast, because speed was fun. But once you understand how to manage your energy and get things back into alignment, once you know and understand the guidance of your emotions, now you can go fast. Now there's really it's not a big deal even if you do crash, because you can always find your way back in. And that's the thing, is that you really want to not like let go, in the sense where like you let go of your desires and you let go of control and you just drive all around the place and you hit trees all the time. Not like that at all. Once you're connected to source, you can drive the car. That's the thing, is that once you get connected to the source, now you can write the book. Now you can do whatever you want, because now the energy is ready. And so that's what when you get connected to source, you're more powerful than 100,000, a million people, because it is not because you have power over them. It's because you have source energy right there, right now with you in the moment. And you want to like shout at everyone. You want to proclaim to the world that you are the best, that everyone can come and see. Those little kids, those little ones, they are so full of themselves, because they're arrogant, because they know who they are. They're connected to source and they feel powerful. They'll dance in front of you, and it could be by the adult human standards the worst thing in the world, but to them in that moment, everyone beholds it as, well, look at this piece of source, because that's what's always happening. Everyone wants source. And in this world of economics where everyone is trading basically energy for monetary gain, what's the most valuable thing that you can offer one another? Alignment to source energy, clarity. The best thing that you can be is a bridge for someone else's connection. And we're not saying you see them as someone that needs help because now you don't have your connection. No. You see them as someone who's so capable, who has this inner being, who has this knowledge, who understands the laws of the universe, who is a master already, and someone who literally focused himself into this body, and someone who has this vortex that is calling them. So your job is to just beam the signal of the vortex, and the ones who aren't ready for you, the ones who aren't matched to you, they'll hear you. They will hear you, and they'll want to talk to you, and you'll always rendezvous, because there are so many. Yes, the leading edge is not crowded, but there are enough for you to be satisfied. There are enough people out there that you can have meaningful conversations and have really fun meetings of the mind. It's really interesting because this reality truly is not the reality. This reality is not that real. And we say that so you understand and really expand your understanding that, hey, what I feel really matters. How I feel really matters, because what you're seeing is not so important. Because when you take score of reality, then when your desire isn't here yet, you practice a vibration that will basically hold your desire off indefinitely. You have to learn and you have to train yourself into this vibrational understanding. And basically the easiest way and the most, because that sounds fancy, train myself, but literally all we really mean is you really have to care about how you feel. So when you feel the negative pinch, when you look at the absence of dollars, you have to talk yourself back into feeling positive, and not because you want the money, but because you care about how you feel. Because when you make it about the money, and because the money's not here yet, but the emotion, did you hear that? The emotion is something that you can have. Meaning, like, imagine when you feel negative emotion, your job isn't to fix the condition so that now you don't have that negative emotion, because that's how everyone is approaching life. They're saying, oh, I don't have any money, so now let me go look for money, let me take action, because that's what people are doing. That's why life is meant to be a vacation, because you're using your effort far more than you thought you would, because you thought effort would just be like, oh, it's fun, like, oh, it's just fun. Like, oh, you just go to the, you just hop on the roller coaster. You're not here to build the roller coaster. You don't have to build the seats. You don't have to operate it. You just have to sit and the ride takes you. And it's like being in a plane, going on your vacation. And you're like, you know what? I want to play my part, so I'm gonna drive the plane. And you don't know anything about planes, so it's like you're not supposed to do that. You just sit back and let the pilot do its job. That's the thing about law of attraction, is that you have to find the emotion of your desire and then let law of attraction deal with the rest. Your job isn't the conditions. Your job is not the plan. Your job is not figuring out how to get there, the directions. You will be told, you will understand, you will know when the time is right. And your job is to prepare yourself, so when it's time to rendezvous with your source, you're ready. You are not only ready, you are excited and you're salivating and you're enjoying every moment of this. So yes, your life is meant to be a vacation, because it is a vacation all the time. But if you're not having fun, then that's up to you, because you can have fun and you can not have fun. But either way, it's your choice, because you are the deliberate creator. You are the focuser of the vibration. You are the translator of your own vortex. You are the creator of your reality. And so as you start to really understand and care about how you feel, no matter where you are, everything feels like a vacation. You could be at work, you could be with people that you don't really like, but every moment becomes a vacation, because now you understand that it's not the conditions that really matter. It's about minding that gap. It's about being like, oh, I feel negative emotions, so it's not about fixing the condition now. It's just about enjoying the reaching for that expanded new version of myself, for feeling better, that new feeling better emotion. Because we promise you, you can't talk about emotions. You can't talk about this vibrational work and not have everything that you want. It's just impossible. Because if it's not coming, then you're not really being as vibrational as you think you are. Because here's the thing, if you really do this work right, you'll know, one, because of how it feels and you feel really good, and two, because of what manifests. And what we mean by manifesting is that it's always exactly what you want and even better, because the universe is taking score of everything that you want and is making every creation perfect for you, and it satisfies all of your desires. It satisfies more than one of your needs. It satisfies many of your interests all at once. And truly, friends, life here on planet Earth is truly amazing. It really is, because you're in the best time and the worst time of humankind. You're on the leading edge. You're the furthest, most expanded version of all of humanity, and you're killing it. You truly are. You're messing up. When we say you're messing up, we mean like you're mixing it up. You're enjoying yourself. You're having fun. You're adding things to the vortex. And to be quite frank, even if you don't receive everything that you launched in this lifetime, the next generation will benefit. You can't lose. You're always winning. So continue on and reach for that source. Feel as good as you can. Don't make every moment the biggest moment ever. Just feel as good as you can in this moment and let that be enough. Let the feeling good, let the reaching for the clarity and being okay with not having the money, let making peace with reality be your new understanding and your new operating system. Care about how you feel, for that is using your guidance and becoming the creator that you truly were meant to be, so that life really does become a vacation, because now you're not doing any extra work. You point out where you want to go, and all of non-physical energy, all of the forces that keep this world spinning, go right in the direction of what you want. And they not only help you out, but they light the path up, like these lights, yes, in such a way that it's not only undoubtable, but you just know for sure, and you feel it, and it feels right, and your life truly does become a fairy tale.